Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I've got news of a sex offender in a Greenville park. Now, Pitt County deputies arrested 31-year-old Omar Johnson Friday night. Warrants say Johnson had failed to report a change in address to the Pitt County Sheriff's Office. The warrants also revealed that on July 3rd, Johnson knowingly got within 300 feet of a playground located on the property of Farrington Trace Apartments on Farrington Drive in Greenville. Johnson is a registered sex offender who is charged with having indecent liberties with a minor in 2010. The registry says the victim was 16 years old at the time. Johnson is in the Pitt County Jail under a $75,000 bond. And now we want to turn our attention again to the Trump administration and its handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. NBC's Hallie Jackson has more on how it's riling up the MAGA base.
President Trump today facing a revolt in the MAGA ranks over how his administration has handled the case of notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Late Sunday, trying to downplay dissatisfaction and backing his deputy FBI director, Dan Bongino.
I spoke to him today, Dan Bongino, and he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
Bongino considered resigning over the Epstein files after a heated confrontation with Attorney General Pam Bondi, according to a source familiar with his interactions and another person who has spoken with him. The former podcaster, one of multiple Trump loyalists who had promoted conspiracies about Epstein's prison suicide 6 years ago, but in his new job, acknowledging no cover-up despite deep skepticism from others in the president's base. At a conservative conference this weekend, that fury on full display.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap.
With calls to fire Bondi, the president bringing Bondi to a soccer match Sunday, defending her as fantastic online, and writing, "What's going on with my boys?" and in some cases, gals, adding, "People should not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about." It comes after the DOJ released an unsigned 2-page memo last week saying it would not make additional disclosures in the Epstein case, reaffirming Epstein was not murdered and adding he did not maintain a client list that he used to traffic underage girls, contradicting what Bondi told Fox News in February.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
Bondi later saying she was referring to the Epstein files in general as she is now squarely in the spotlight.
Pam, if you can't do your job, we'll find someone who will.
And again, that was Hallie Jackson reporting. We now want to turn our attention to your weather forecast. Today going to be, again, pretty much a rinse and repeat from yesterday. I do want to say good morning to William Harris. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. 83 degrees right now in New Bern along the News River. Feels like 92 thanks to a 77-degree dew point. The humidity very much present. Cloud cover? It's there. It's there. It's certainly not taking up the entire sky, but this is a look through our Grifton cam. You can see most of the clouds right now across eastern North Carolina are low-level clouds that should be burning off as we head through the middle of the day. Now we'll see a regeneration of some of those clouds as a sea breeze front forms coming up this afternoon. Current air temperatures upper 70s to low to mid 80s as you get closer to the Outer Banks and the Crystal Coast. 84 degrees in Beaufort, 85 in Hatteras, 84 in Elizabeth City. Currently 76 degrees in Goldsboro, 79 in Rocky Mount, 77 in Roanoke Rapids. Yeah, it's going to be a toasty day. It's going to be another toasty day. Not quite as hot as what we've got coming up later on this week and particularly into the upcoming weekend. But I'm anticipating, again, more of your heat index to reach into the upper 90s later today. Now, winds not doing a whole lot right now, kind of sleeping on the job, certainly giving us, when we do catch a bit of a breeze, added humidity. But right now, wind speeds light to non-existent. We're going with about a 3 to 6 miles an hour breeze for those, I would say, about half of eastern North Carolina. Here's what we've got coming up, though. Later on today, you can see we've got a sea breeze front forming up there, stretching from really Pender, Duplin counties across Jones, Craven, Beaufort, Washington, Bertie, Chewan. You guys might get in the mix as well. But these are going to be, again, fairly scattered showers. And as that sea breeze front continues to work its way up towards the northwest, we get later and later into the evening, and eventually that heat-driven circulation will be dying out. So again, afternoon showers and thunderstorms, pretty synonymous with, of course, this time of year. Zooming the picture out, we do see we've got a more substantial frontal boundary off to the west. You can see it kind of draped over the Ohio River across Arkansas, and then even extending down into Texas. That frontal boundary is going to kind of pass by eastern North Carolina, won't actually make it through the area. We may get kind of the tail end of that system, but not enough to give us any sort of noticeable change in the forecast. Normally after a cold front rolls through, you get, again, a slight cool down and a little bit of a drop in your humidity. With this, we are kind of at the dying end of that frontal boundary, so we're not looking at any sort of thunderstorm, well, any additional thunderstorms or any severe weather, but we're also not looking at any sort of cool down coming with that frontal boundary. The forecast stays fairly, I would say, wet and active as we head through your Tuesday and Wednesday as that storm system again passes by, maybe dipping some of that action into eastern North Carolina, but then we really start to heat up. Thursday and then into Friday and Saturday, air temperatures are going to be climbing. Mid-90s for your Friday, Saturday, and potentially even Sunday and Monday of next week. And when you factor in the heat index, the humidity, it's going to feel significantly hotter. We'll feel, again, like all of us are in the triple digits. So again, make sure coming up for this Friday and Saturday, you either have your air conditioned all tuned up and ready to go, or you have a place to go that has an air conditioner set up, primed, and good to go. That's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, you all have a wonderful Monday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.